presentation with this particular website, and after that Swamiji will be explaining the verses which he has very carefully chosen to place it in this particular presentation, which is for the corporate world. So I will not take more time and request Swamiji. Please.
Important aspect of the workplace, corporate life, which actually gives us real purpose, not only at our work but also in our general life. So we will chant some invocation mantras and then we will go ahead with the presentation.
Spiritual meaning of work and life. Being a corporate offers you a unique means to craft the meaning of life through your work.
Efficiency, for satisfaction, which will actually give us long-standing, long-awaited achievement, fulfillment about the goal of life. So, though money is the oxygen of the workplace, money should not be the only incentive for our work. The work should also be used to find out the higher purpose of work and life, because that leads to more awareness, that leads to more fulfillment and a lack of depression, lack of frustration at work. When we face success, when we face failure, we can easily overcome those if we include the basic principle of spirituality in our work. So, the very fact, the meaning of karma yoga in the Gita, it means that you link your karma with God. Yoga means to link. So when you link your karma with God, do it as an offering to God, then you will want to do it in the best way possible. Because if I offer something, when you go to God, will you offer a wrinkled flower or a fresh flower?
Fresh first.
You will offer the best. That's why when we get old, we retire, because our body is old and our work may not be so fulfilling, so adequate. Now it is the time where we can actually do our work as an offering to God and craft the meaning of life through our work. Use the work as a stepping stone of success. Success not only for the company but also for our individual life. Success for our soul. Success in our endeavors. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that nobody can remain without work. And nobody can remain without spirituality also. That is an integral part of us. In America, more and more companies are feeling now, we will see in the future slides, further slides, that unless spirituality is incorporated in work, that satisfaction, that higher purpose to work, the ethical, moral values, the integrity and the honesty and customer satisfaction, the dealings, our dealings with our customers, our friends, our colleagues, actually all this get benefited in a positive way if we include the Bhagavad Gita in our line of thought. That is why Tarunji has organized today's program. And I hope it will help you to become a better entrepreneur, better corporate.
In a time when international business leaders recognize a need to better infuse business with values, Richard Gusen, a professor of entrepreneurial strategy and finance at Trinity Western University's Business School, said he believes spirituality should be part of the entrepreneurship curricula.
Relationship between all the executives of the company, that will develop a higher bond. It will not only develop a higher bond among us, it will also develop a higher bond with our customers. If we can include the message of the Gita in our day-to-day work.
Business leaders recognize the need to better infuse business with values. Richard Gusen, a professor of entrepreneurial strategy and finance at Trinity Western University's Business School, said he believes spirituality should be part of the entrepreneurship curricula. The first empirical study of this issue, A Spiritual Audit of Corporate America, published in October 2004 by Josie Bass, found that employees who work for organizations they consider to be spiritual are less fearful, less likely to compromise their values, and more able to throw themselves into their jobs.
So, it's a very nice study done about corporate America, the spiritual audit, in October 2004. It was found that those who work for a spiritual organization, or those who work for an organization which tries to cultivate the spiritual values, we try to give an opportunity for the corporates to actually get some spiritual standing. They are quite successful in actually keeping up their high standard of values and efficiency, and sense of insecurity is decreased. Because, why? Because there is not only a bond of employer and the employee, getting paid, but there is also a bond, it's a higher bond, the spiritual bond between the organization and those who work for the organization. Because the organization is helping to nourish the spiritual values at the workplace. So there is a higher bond which comes about, and that is why it is found that it helps the employees, the corporates, to actually throw themselves into working for their company, and they feel happy to actually lead their company to success, because the company is doing something for them. The company is doing something for their soul. The company is doing something for their overall nourishment, not only just giving them monetary satisfaction, but actually the company is showing them a way of life. So, it really helps to become motivated to work for the company, because there always has to be a reciprocal exchange. It is not one way. So this is very important, and it's very increasingly becoming very popular in the United States that to include spiritual training which fosters ethical values and less insecurity and less compromise in our values, and in turn it leads to better output, not only for the company but also in our individual lives.
More and more people are becoming open about spirituality in the world. According to the Gallup organization, 95% of Americans say that they believe in God, and 48% say that they would like to add spirituality at work, as it makes the work more efficient, progressive, fulfilling, meaningful, and much less stressful.
When you include spirituality, can anybody tell me?
There's insecurity.
Yes.
Basically because you don't expect anything in return.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. You work, you give it your best for the sake of work, but you do not. The fruits are going to come anyway. You don't work for a company for free. The company will maintain you, nourish you, and give you everything. But we should rather strive for perfection in the work with a spiritual perspective. So it becomes more fulfilling, because we are actually working for an organization which fosters spiritual values, more meaningful, because ultimately, however amount of pay we are getting, money, that cannot actually give us enough fulfillment. The richest people in this world are the most disturbed. They are the most disturbed. Result of the fruit of our sincere hard work. Still, the goal should be different, should be higher than simply paper. Ultimately, money is paper, and paper cannot satisfy us, cannot satisfy our soul. So we should work for a higher fulfillment, and that is become God conscious, offer our work as to God, leave the results up to the God. We should not think that we are the doers. We give it our best, and success will come. But we should give credit to God and to all our colleagues. Instead of getting puffed up. So what happens is, if we engage in entrepreneurial activity, and if we just do it for taking credit for ourselves, it is not fulfilling. It is not fulfilling. We should. It's a teamwork, and we will be very happy and fulfilling to associate with the team which is spiritual minded. It is much more fulfilling than to associate with a team which is simply, just superficially minded, just thinking about simply the immediate results, not thinking about the long-term gains. That is highly dissatisfying. So, move to the next.
Corporate spirituality is becoming popular due to mounting evidence that spiritually minded programs in the workplace not only soothe workers' sides but also deliver improved productivity.
The consciousness of the workers, and it delivers improved productivity, because ultimately when our inner conscience becomes strong, then integrity becomes a value, integrity becomes our quality. So when the driver of a chariot is it takes the instructions from the passenger of the chariot, then the chariot can run in the proper direction without straying from the path. But if the chariot driver is controlled by the horses, then what will happen? The chariot will fall down into the ditch. So the chariot driver to take the knowledge from the passenger of the chariot, not be pulled by the way where the horses are pulling him. So normally when we incorporate spirituality into our work, incorporate the knowledge of Gita into our work, we are making our intelligence, which is the driver of our chariot, strong. And the intelligence learns to hear the voice of the soul. The voice of the soul is known as conscience. How many of you have heard conscience? Everyone has heard the voice of the soul. So, but actually it has become very, very feeble now, because our intelligence is controlled by our external surroundings. So this incorporating spirituality, it actually helps to soothe our mind and our senses, because then they become controlled by our soul, and then we become very, very responsible people. We become very mature. We actually take guidance from our soul, and we actually find fulfillment in our work, because we are always in tune with our soul, even by doing a very small, insignificant work in our workplace. Every single work counts. With what consciousness we are doing it. Even a small work can give us satisfaction, a lot of satisfaction at work. So So that is only possible if we incorporate, if we have a higher principle which will guide our intelligence, and that is the soul. And it will ultimately help the intelligence to drive the chariot in a better way and a faster way. Similarly, ultimately the Atma Gyan, the knowledge of the soul, will help us to actually give improved productivity on individual level, collective level, because unless we give improved productivity on the individual level, we cannot actually have improved productivity on the level of the company, overall level. We have to work on ourselves. Drop by drop, you can make the ocean. A manager can have meetings and a manager can request everyone, come on, we have to achieve our goals. But ultimately, it is the individual effort which is going to count. So it is very important that individually we try to implement this Atma Gyan, this knowledge of Gita in our life. And it is such a sublime knowledge that we can implement it very easily, at work, at home, anywhere. We can always be in the right course of improved productivity.
Creating a consonance of values based on spirituality in your workplace and with your customers will build loyalty and even more value, success, stability and satisfaction.
When they know that we are spiritual minded people, we have some values, we are stable, we are established, then customers are more free, customers are more assured. Customers are more assured of guaranteed service and stable service from us. If they know that we are actually not only efficient in our work, but we are also having a spiritual background. We are having some spiritual values. It creates a very, very impressive aura for the company. If the company is actually incorporating this at work. Consonance, it creates a consonance of values. Because wherever spirituality is there, something higher is expected from us. Not that same lower thing which is found everywhere. And I think Monsanto is very famous, and Monsanto is quite popular for that kind of consonance of values. But since the trend is always, to pull us down from our ethical value situation, that is why we require some solid basis to really keep up that high standard of values Monsanto is known for. And that can be done through spiritual values. Any questions if you have? Comments on any slide if you have, you can please put them forward.
Unlike the marketplace of 20 years ago, today's information and services dominated economy is all about instantaneous decision making and building relationships with partners and employees. Spiritually based approaches are very effective to help staffers get better at the long neglected people side of the equation.
It's a very personal scripture, the Vedas. So when we become aware, when we increase our spiritual awareness, then not only we see the commercial side of the equation, but we also the people side of the equation. Normally, sometimes it becomes so much informal, so much official that even our relationships with each other and with our customers, we often neglect to see the people side of the equation, to hear others, to to see their soul, to have a spiritual angle. So spiritually based approaches are very effective to actually hear others and to give them proper guidance as per the Gita. It is because instantaneous decision making has become the slogan of the day. If you don't make instantaneous decisions, you are going to perish in this world. Decide or perish. There is not, So at that time, it's very important to have our mind controlled. It's very important to have, properly situated. If our mind is disturbed and agitated at workplace, all our decisions may go wrong. So it is very important to actually, the spiritually based approach is to have the knowledge of the Gita in our life. It's like a solid pillar of support for us at times when we need to take quick decisions, at times when we need to reach out to the people to develop a more personal relationship with our customers, with our colleagues. Every soul is an individual soul according to Bhagavad Gita. Everything is not one. So Bhagavad Gita advocates a very variety of relationship, a very personal relationship with everyone, and that actually helps our day-to-day work.
Some of our staff, they are not more conversant in English. I request you to give some lines in Hindi.
Okay, sure.
For Chris Kalra, Chief Executive of Biogenics USA, it is the Bhagavad Gita that offers the best lessons for steering a business. He studied Bhagavad Gita for many hours a day for 3 months, and he found that he has started listening to others much better way. And the results were that with the approval of 12 patents, Kalra's new products helped increase sales.
USA, he turned to the Bhagavad Gita. He took a break of 3 months. Imagine to take a break of 3 months from corporate life and CEO. But he took a break for 3 months and he deeply studied the Bhagavad Gita. And he found that those 3 months were actually worth it. Because when he came back, he was listening to other people's ideas in a much better way. He could appreciate, he could take good things from everywhere. He could encourage others. And he could have a more personal interaction with his colleagues and with his customers. And immediately the results showed he had approval of 12 patents which are very long standing. तो क्रिस कालरा बायोजेनिक्स यूएसए के जो मालिक थे, उन्होंने भगवत गीता 3 महीने तक पढ़ा और उससे उनका बिजनेस बहुत आगे बढ़ गया, क्योंकि उनको आध्यात्मिक दृष्टिकोण मिला काम करने का, जिससे वो संबंध अपने कार्यकर्ताओं के साथ, अपने कस्टमर के साथ अच्छी तरह से बढ़ा सके, आत्मा के स्तर पे, पर्सनल लेवल पे उसको बढ़ा सके.
The Bhagavad Gita is the main literary support for the great spiritual civilization of India, the oldest surviving culture in the world. It is the most systematic statement of spiritual evolution, of endowing value to our workplace and to our life.
So, Bhagavad Gita is the most authentic and the most ancient scripture about our work and our life in general, and even our death. Even it gives us the whole life plan of how we should live our life, so that we not only better our body, but we also help our soul. So, it endows value to our workplace and to our life, because we know that there is something more than simply working for material, lucrative benefits. There is something more to work, something more to life. So that knowledge is given in the Gita by God Himself, Lord Krishna. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, as described by Arjuna. Parabrahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan. He is known as Parabrahma, means whatever emanates from his mouth is perfect. You can see this message was given around 5,200 years back, Bhagavad Gita, but it is still so relevant. It is ever fresh. When I talk something to someone on the street, will it be remembered after 5,000 years? No, I think he will forget it tomorrow. मैं कुछ बोलता हूं तो कोई याद नहीं रखेगा, लेकिन गीता है वो अभी भी हमारे जीवन में, हमारे वर्क में और हमारे घर में सब जगह में लागू होते हैं, प्रैक्टिकल है। तो इसलिए ये सारे जो ग्रंथ हैं पूरे विश्व में, इन सब का मूल स्तंभ है भगवत गीता। जो भी ज्ञान इस्लाम, क्रिश्चियनिटी,
The Bhagavad Gita deals essentially with the spiritual foundation of human existence. It is a call of action to meet the obligations and duties of life, yet keeping in view the spiritual nature and the grander purpose of the universe. Late Indian Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru.
So Bhagavad Gita, and he described that actually why Bhagavad Gita is so relevant to our workplace is because Arjuna did not want to fight. He got depressed. He got frustrated. He got actually confused about what to do, whether to fight or not to fight, and how to fight. So it is a dynamic action. It's a call for dynamic action. But that action has also a higher purpose. Like Jawaharlal Nehru says, that every action should also have a higher purpose behind it. Otherwise, the action itself will not give us everlasting satisfaction. It may give us immediate fruits, but there won't be everlasting satisfaction. So, the call to action to meet the obligations and duties of life, but at the same time, it also makes us see the purpose of life, purpose of work in a deeper way. It gives us a total different perspective, which actually refreshes us, which refreshes our soul, which refreshes our mind. What will happen if Monsanto will stop giving you holidays on the weekends? Can anybody tell? अगर आपका छुट्टी बंद हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा?
People will get irritated and the whole enjoy will be less.
Yes. The work efficiency will go down. So we need some vacation period, some time, weekends to actually relax. And the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is so sublime that it will make us relax even during the 5 working days. It will help us. Our work itself will become the most entertaining, the most relaxing, the most enjoyable, because there is a higher purpose to it. I am not saying that if you implement Gita, you don't need the holidays. The holidays are required, but the balance 5 days, the 5 working days, right? So Monsanto is caring so much for the employees that is giving 2 weekend days. But even during that 5 days, Monsanto is organizing this kind of programs and helping us to improve the output even during the 5 working days. So that is what is required.
Battlefield Kurukshetra by the Supreme Lord Krishna to Arjuna as a spiritual counseling to do his duty while multitudes of men stood by waiting and hearing the knowledge. It has got all the management tips to achieve the mental equilibrium and to overcome any crisis situation in the workplace or at home. The Bhagavad Gita can be experienced as a powerful catalyst for transformation.
Actually, if you implement the Gita in the workplace, you will be totally astonished at the, at the transformation which can come, at the magnification of the output, the efficiency. You will find yourself giving so much output, giving so much quality work that you would never have imagined that in the past. It will be unimaginable how much mental equilibrium can be found by taking the tips from the Bhagavad Gita on the platform of the soul. It can also be used for disaster management. Any crisis situation, we need to be very calm and peaceful to actually overcome a situation of disaster management. So that quality also will come in us by studying the Bhagavad Gita of calm and peaceful nature with a controlled mind. It will actually be a catalyst for our individual as well as collective transformation. And one will thank the company from the bottom of the heart for providing a chance to actually implement this knowledge of Gita in our workplace as well as in the life. And the company will thank you because of increased output and efficiency. So it will be a mutual thank you. It will be a very nice relationship.
The leader has to set the exemplary standard through the actions and words, as everyone under the leader looks to him or her to set the path which they have to follow. This is the basic principle of management and success in the workplace as well as our daily lives.
So, as you all know that in corporate life, the leader actually is the key factor. The leader sets the standard. Whatever the leader does, the subordinates will take it up. They will do it. So, it is very important for the leader to actually incorporate spirituality, incorporate Gita. How many of you are leaders?
All are leaders.
All of us. All of you must be having somebody under you. कोई तो आपके अंडर में होगा जो आप. So you are actually setting a standard and example for some, at least some, if not all. So it's very important that you incorporate this spiritual angle to work. Then you will infuse inspiration, motivation in all those who work under you, and they will be satisfied. They will not work with a sense of duty, but they will work with a sense of spontaneity. They will work cheerfully. When somebody does work cheerfully, then there is maximum output. And when somebody works unwillingly, then there is not proper output. So one will work cheerfully if the leader will help foster spiritual values
Gita 3.21 Yad yad ajarati shreshthas tat tat evetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvardate. Whatever action a great man, a leader performs, common men follow. And whatever standard he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues.
So this very basic principle is very much applicable at work. Because for a subordinate, his superior is actually a great man. Subordinate always looks to the superior for guidance at every step, right? Now where will the subordinate go for guidance? So it's exemplary, the superior should become exemplary and should set very standard acts, and those acts are to be based on the spiritual principles. The knowledge of the Gita is very important to actually set an exemplary standard on all levels. There are different departments of knowledge, but they only help us to set a standard on a mundane level. And some mundane level is not actually the very fulfilling for the supervised superior as well as the subordinate. So it is very important that the spiritual standards, spiritual principles are also incorporated in the behavior of the leaders in the factory, at work, whether sitting in the office or whether going to the factory, site work or marketing or accounts or any department one is, our acts should be exemplary. We should always know that whatever we are doing is actually setting a standard for others, as the Gita says. So if one doing is conscientiously and one with faith in the words of God in the Gita, then one will surely set a very good standard for one's dependent, for one's subordinates. They will feel inspired.
The principle of reducing our attachment to the personal gains from the work done is the Gita's prescription for attaining equanimity. It has been held that this principle leads to the lack of incentive for effort, striking at the very root of work ethic. To the contrary, concentration on the task for his own sake leads to the achievement of excellence and indeed to the true mental happiness of the worker.
Concentration on the task for its own sake rather than for personal gains is actually Gita's prescription for achieving peaceful and equanimity at work. If personal gains are the first thing first motivation, the primary motivation for our work, then our work will turn into a kind of mundane endeavor, which will not be pleasing to us as well as to our company, as well as to our soul, because it strikes at the very root of work ethic. Work ethic means do your best and leave it up to God. That is work ethic. That is basically moral work ethic. Don't be too much attached, excessively attached to the results. So if you work hard and be too much attached to the results, then if it is not successful, the results do not come, then one feels very frustrated, depressed, dejected, and ultimately what suffers? Our work suffers, the output suffers, our efficiency suffers. In fact, we were discussing yesterday how sometimes it takes many weeks to actually make us come out of that frustration and depression. Have you experienced that? Sometimes it takes many weeks to actually come out of it. So, but if we are actually working for the sake of work, with our integrity, working for the sake of God in Dharma Yoga, and giving the work the best, the work itself becomes very enjoyable. And whether it is success or failure, one accepts it in a very sporting manner, and one learns a lot in either case, and it ensures the true mental happiness of the worker.
Gita 2.47 कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचनः मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर् मा ते संगोस्त्वकर्मणि. You have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but never become attached to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, knowing me as the ultimate cause of everything, and never be attached to not doing your duty. By making the equable mind the better. Gita 2.47.
So, if we are attached to doing our duty for phala, for fruit, then if the fruit is not there, we will become attached to not doing the duty. So, we have the full right to perform the duty with the best possible capacity which we can, but we are not entitled to get a certain fruit. Man proposes, God disposes. It is not, that we have to get a particular kind of fruit for our work. Actually, we should leave the results to God, to the superior power, and work to the best of our capacity, knowing that God or Lord Krishna, He is the ultimate cause of everything. Not a leaf moves without God's sanction. So who are we to demand that I have worked so much and I want to see this output? Okay, we can expect something, but we should not excessively be attached to some result, and we should not consider ourselves as the cause, and just we should learn to give credit to others. We should learn to give credit to God. That will promote a healthy work environment. We should learn to make it a team effort. Of course, individually we need some encouragement. That is the duty of the superior, to encourage us on an individual level. When one is successful in one's work, then one should be encouraged to give credit to the whole team. One should be encouraged to give credit to God for ultimately sanctioning that result, for ultimately allowing it to happen. So that is very important, that we don't become attached to akarmani. That's what happens, sometimes when we become so attached to the result and it doesn't come, then we become so dejected that we don't want to work. You have seen people, corporate, they give up their job because they cannot give the output. Have you experienced that? In so many cases it happens. So,
The goal of unification of spiritual ethics with the ethics in work and life. For without the ethical process, no mind can attain an equipoise. The skill necessary in the performance of one's duty is that of maintaining an evenness of mind in the face of success and failure. The calm mind in the face of failure will lead to deeper introspection and see clearly where the process went wrong, so that corrective steps could be taken to avoid shortcomings in the future.
Is always a stepping stone to success. It teaches us so many things which we should not, which we can prevent. So for that we need a calm mind, and the calm mind comes from understanding the spiritual ethics of the Gita. It simply does not come by any material formula, material means. Calm mind comes when the mind is in control of the intelligence. Mind is the reins, intelligence is the driver, and the soul is the passenger. So calm mind comes when the mind is under the control of the intelligence and the soul. So the ethics of the Gita are very, very important. In fact, I would suggest that, before you come to work daily, if you can read one verse of the Gita, just one, along with the translation, the commentary, so that will really put you in a perfect frame of mind throughout the day for work. Because Gita Amritam Mahat, you have immersed your mind in the colossal nectar of the Gita, then the mind will remain ever fresh, ever in the right direction. And you will minimize a lot of things which go wrong at work. So many can be minimized.
66. Nasti buddhira yuktasya na cha yuktasya bhavana na cha bhavayatah shantir ashantasya kutah sukham.
The proper work, if the mind is not fixed, stable, because there are so many thoughts and desires which are multitudes, which are entering into our mind at every second. So, how will we be able to come over it when we realize that the mind is only a subtle sense organ which is actually having a connection with the soul? The soul is above the mind. The intelligence is above the mind, and the ego is above the intelligence, and the soul is above the ego. Ultimately, the soul is the controller of all the three subtle senses and the five gross senses, subtle and gross bodies. The soul is the controller. Nowadays, this word soul is used everywhere. Now can you see in newspapers and so many people are now trying to know what is the soul, and because they have understood that all this modern technological advancement and the modern progress, modern facilities increase cannot actually really help the soul become peaceful. You need some spiritual values. And fortunately we are born in India, we have this greatest scripture of Bhagavad Gita. If you reject this knowledge, then you will be greatly unfortunate, and you will be wandering, searching for the right knowledge of the soul without any peace, without any success, or without any happiness. Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir. The last verse of the Gita says that wherever the knowledge of Gita is there, there will be prosperity, success. Vijaya. Vijaya means victory, happiness and peace. Shantim apnoti. There will be real peace when one is working on the platform of the soul. Very big karma yogi. But does it make you a karma yogi? Like that Bill Gates should be a biggest karma yogi. There is lots of money. Is it the biggest karma yogi? Who is a karma yogi actually? One who is simply satisfied in making lots of money? No. One who makes money, one who works with a higher dimension. Because not only we are working for this life, we also want to thinking about the next life for the soul. We want to make it also better. You must have seen in Aaj Tak TV channel how that recently that person got captured by the Yamaraj. Did you see that? Aaj Tak? No. One person died and he was taken to Yamaraj for punishment because of a particular activity is sinful. Then ultimately when Yamaraj came before Yamaraj, Yamaraj said, sorry, he is not the person. Actually the person is his uncle. Bring his uncle. And immediately...
Modern Western 9.27.
It's a very, very simple process. We don't have to change what we are doing. We have to just change our consciousness. We have to just change our outlook, and then we can make it spiritual. We can turn the same thing into spiritual. If the output, if the object, the goal of our endeavors is spiritual, is satisfaction, then it becomes very, very easy. So do it as an offering to God. And God will give you back. God will give you back in millions. God will return, give you 100 times than what we put. But what we need to do is, while working, we need to offer our consciousness to God. Then we will get back multitudes in magnified way. So, and so it's a very easy sum. Liquid is flowing through the pipe. If suppose there is a hole in the pipe, what will happen? It will come out. So I will rush, we will all rush and try to plug this hole. But then what will happen? The pipe is weak. There will be another hole from here. And the liquid will start flowing out. Then I will plug this. Then there will be a hole in the side. Then I will plug this. Then there will be a hole here. This is known as stop-gap solution. So all other courses and seminars which you attend will provide a template. Then I would like you to have more interaction. Please put down your points and please give us your positive feedback next time, how it has helped in your work. Please let Arunji know. So, thank you so much.
So, on behalf of everybody present here, I thank you very much, Swamiji, that today actually Swamiji के 3 सेशंस हैं, 2 अभी बम्बई में हैं, तो बहुत हेक्टिक शेड्यूल है स्वामी का, but on our request Swamiji came and gave us these beautiful verses to cherish all the time. Thank you, Swamiji. स्वामी जी की वेबसाइट जो है ये ऊपर एड्रेस है और इस एड्रेस पे बहुत सारा स्वामी जी ने अपना जो प्रचार आध्यात्मिक विषय में है इसमें ऑलरेडी लोड कर दिया है और आपने जैसे देखा कि ये मटेरियल जो है स्वामी जी ने इसमें स्वामी जी ने पिक्चर्स यूज किए हैं, वीडियोस यूज किए हैं और वॉइस भी यूज की है, तो आप सब इसका लाभ जो है ले सकते हैं और अपने रिलेटिव्स, फ्रेंड्स, फैमिली मेंबर्स सबके साथ आप शेयर कर सकते हैं और किसी भी तरह की कुछ भी आपको और जानकारी चाहिए हो तो हमेशा जो है आप कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। तो स्वामी जी इज जस्ट एक ईमेल की दूर है और वैसे भी स्वामी जी का प्रोग्राम जो है हर लगभग 3 महीने में तो अक्सर होता ही है, तो आप सब लोग जो है उसमें सम्मिलित होइए और अपना तो अभी प्रसाद के लिए आप कैंटीन की तरफ जो है